and drift away.
Yo, what's good everybody? Hope that y'all are having a great day. So in today's video, I thought I would just do a quick little recap of everything that happened over National Signing Day. National Signing Day is the equivalent of the NFL draft. It is the time where teams can either make or break their next season. Actually, their next couple of seasons. This is where the new wave of talent is found and where potential Heismans are born. So yeah, National Signing Day is just kind of a big deal, you know? But there was a lot that happened and some pretty weird stories that went on. So I just want to kind of go over what happened. So before I get into who the winners and the losers were of National Signing Day, I have to go over National Signing Day's biggest story. So the biggest and probably the weirdest story that happened on National Signing Day was 4-star wide receiver Jacob Copeland. When he signed his letter of intent to Florida, his mom just straight up walked away from him. You don't believe me? Here's what I mean.
I like now that I'm taking my time to for the next 3 to 4 years.
So, Jacob, you're going to Florida.
She straight up left her son at the biggest moment of his life to that point. You see, I already knew something was off when she was wearing both an Alabama sweatshirt as well as a Tennessee hat. She probably walked away because she was embarrassed because she didn't have anything Florida on. She's like, son, you gonna pick the only school I'm not repping right now? Making me look foolish out here. So obviously Jacob Copeland's kind of in an awkward situation right now. And of course, the announcer has to go and ask the dumbest question.
Who just got up and left there and to your right? Who got up and left?
Oh, that was my mom.
Of course we knew it was his mom. Now to wrap things back up, yes, she did come back and give him a hug. I guess they squashed whatever beef that they had in between each other. However, I was not able to find out why she originally walked away. She was probably just mad that she didn't get an offer to Florida. I understand. I can feel that. So now that we got that story out of the way with, let's go and look at how all the other teams fared out in National Signing Day. So here is the final top 10 recruiting class. Of course, we have Georgia at number 1, who absolutely just took whoever they wanted this year, basically. Then we have Ohio State at 2, Texas at 3, and USC at 4, getting that top 5 recruiting class. I see you. Then we got Penn State at number 5, Clemson at number 6, and Alabama at 7th. Alabama hasn't had a recruiting class this low since 2007. That's over a decade that they haven't been in the top 5 at least. Are we seeing the fall of a dynasty? But to finish out the top 10, we have the University of Miami at 8, Oklahoma at 9, and Notre Dame at 10. So what do y'all want to start off with, the winners or the losers? Obviously, we got to start with the losers because we have to end this video on a high note. So one of the biggest losers had to be Tennessee. They had both Anthony Grant and Jordan Young flipped to going to Florida State. Hey, Florida State fans, I know you're happy about that. But of course, it's never good when you have 2 of your top recruits decommit from you. Tennessee was also trying to get Elijah Griffin, but you know, he had to stay with the boys out there in the West. And overall, it just seemed like all the players that they were going after went to different schools. Try again next year, Tennessee. Next up, we got to talk about Michigan for a little bit. So how would you guys feel as a head coach if you had a kid recruited since June of 2016? That's almost 2 whole years of this kid telling you he's going to your school. All for when National Signing Day to come up, he flips and goes to Georgia. You'd be pretty happy about that, right? No. Obviously, you would not be happy at all. And that's exactly what happened to Michigan with linebacker / safety Otis Reese. And overall, Michigan just was not able to pull any big name recruits. Which is weird because wasn't it only like a year or 2 ago that everyone was complaining how, oh, Jim Harbaugh can't go to other states and be running like little training camps for recruits. Like, oh, that's not fair. Jim Harbaugh is ruining recruiting. He's going to too many states. And yet he pulled the 21st overall recruiting class this year. You gotta wonder if it's working. And the last loser of National Signing Day is Alabama? Wait, hold up, let me get this straight. You have a top 10 recruiting class and yet you're still one of the losers? Okay, hear me out. Yes, Alabama, obviously, they always do good in recruiting. But this year they only did good. They didn't do great like they normally do. Yes, pulling the number 1 corner in Patrick Surtain Jr., that was big. Good job, Alabama. But I saw 2 things that happened for Alabama on National Signing Day that might be showing their decline. Firstly is just finishing number 7. I mean, Obviously, we hold Alabama to a higher standard. Alabama is like the Patriots of the college football world. If you don't win a national title versus them, it's almost kind of an illegitimate national title. So obviously, I'm not expecting Alabama to go out there and get the #1 recruiting class every single year, but falling out of the top 5 shows that kids see that they can go to other schools and have not only a chance to win a national title, but a very good chance to be able to beat Alabama on a regular basis. And secondly is losing not only recruits, but commits to other SEC teams. Alabama lost Tyson Campbell and Quay Walker to Georgia. They lost Jacob Copeland and Malik Langham to Florida. They lost Bobby Brown to Texas A&M. And those are all just in the SEC. They even lost Alabama native Justin Ross to Clemson. Now, I'm not saying that Alabama fell off the face of the earth. They're still going to be a playoff team next year, and they're still going to be competing for national titles every single year. It's just going to be interesting to see what kind of influence Alabama has going forward over recruits. All right, now that we're done talking about these losers, let's get into the National Signing Day winners. So you cannot say National Signing Day winners without also including Georgia in there. Georgia killed it this year. I'm not saying no, they dominated. I'm not saying no, like they did. No, they took whoever they wanted. They picked up the #1 dual threat quarterback, the #1 offensive guard, the #2 overall strong side defensive end, and the #3 overall offensive tackle, on top of the already loaded team that they have right now. Georgia pulled by far the most 5-star recruits, and they overall just dominated National Signing Day. Good for you, Georgia. Next up on the list, we have to go out to the West and go talk about my boys, the USC Trojans. Now, USC might not have had as much depth as Georgia did in this recruiting class, but I would say recruit for recruit, USC is up there with Georgia. Wow, you would say that because you're a USC fan. Yes, I would say that because I'm a USC fan. But I mean, just look at the recruits. In my opinion, the #1 overall quarterback, but he's the #2 overall pocket passer. Okay, I can get it. JT Daniels will be classified, so technically he should be going into his senior year, but he's coming to USC early because, you know, he got that itching to just make plays. And then, you know, we just pulled the #1 wide receiver in the country. One second. Did I mention that JT Daniels and the #1 wide receiver in the country, Amon-Ra St. Brown, are teammates? So they already gonna have that connection going into USC. And then, like I said in some of my other recruiting videos, for teams to be successful, they need to be able to keep their in-state talent in-state, and preferably at their school. And that's what USC did by solidifying their secondary by picking up Elijah Griffin and Isaac Taylor Stewart. So obviously USC had a great recruiting class like they always do. So hopefully they're able to turn these recruits into some talent and turn those talent into wins. And last but not least, we have to talk about Florida State. All right, so as I said, I believe in yesterday's video, Florida State fans were the fans that really built up my channel. So it hurt me to watch how bad you guys struggled this year. Now, you cannot blame all of that on Florida State just because they did lose their starting quarterback the week 1. Like, you can't really help that. But Florida State was looking pretty sad in some of these games. So to be able to pull the 11th best recruiting class, I would say that's a major positive. They're able to solidify their secondary by picking up Asante Samuels Jr. and Anthony Layton, as well as picking up safety Jaden Woodby. Overall, Florida State definitely picked up pieces that they need to help get them back into that national spotlight and hopefully get them back into the top 10. Actually, hopefully just to get them back into the top 25. All right, guys, but that is basically a quick little recap of everything that happened at National Signing Day. National Signing Day is like Christmas for the fans because you get to see all the new talent that's coming to your school, and you just get to be excited just because you get to be like, is this the guy that's gonna take us over the top and help us win games? You never know. All right, but I wanna know, who are your guys' winners and losers? Be sure to comment them down below. All right, guys, but I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave this video a like. Yo, can we get this video to like 400 likes? Because that lets me know that you guys are enjoying these videos. Also, don't forget to comment down below any other players that you guys want me to see, as well as who you guys think was the winners and the losers of National Signing Day. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications so you guys can stay on top of all the videos that I am coming out with. Yeah. All right, but with that all being said, hope that you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.
What I like now is that I'm taking my time to for the next 3 to 4 years.
Great. You got so, Jacob, you're going to Florida. Who just got up and left there and To your right. Who got up and left?
Oh, that was my mom.